I remember the sea, the smell of the salt and the crash of the waves as we drew closer to Kugane. The only port open to outsiders in Hingashi, across the Ruby Sea from Othard, from Doma. All the colors of the rainbow, all the peoples of the world, all in one place. I wish you could have seen it. I remember the water, how it turned crimson in the morning sun. A shimmering sea of rubies, stretching from horizon to horizon. You could almost believe it went on forever. But beyond that red expanse lay a land in turmoil. On the shores of Othard, our Doman brothers struggled in vain.
It is she, sworn enemy of Doma, of my master. The traitor who sold her homeland to the Garleans. Yotsuyu.
The Viceroy herself. And look behind her. Isn't that...
Filth and squalor everywhere I look. How very Doman. What I wouldn't do for a drink. Come now! You've no reason to look so afraid. You have lived through a quarter of a century of Garlean rule, remember? 'Tis better to bend with the wind than stand tall and be broken. Therein lies hope. Therein lies freedom. I come before you today seeking affirmation. A heartfelt declaration. You are free to answer me as you see fit, yet even the least among you should know the correct response. Should. A resident of your village, one of your neighbors, mayhap your friend, was detained by the Kojin this morning. They say he was attempting to flee to Kugane, but we both know that simply isn't true, don't we? Have you anything to say? Bit slow, this one. Is there anyone more sensible among you? Have any of you anything to say? To swear?
My lady, I swear to serve the Empire, to do whatever is asked of me, and never disobey.
Well said, that man. Of course, it wouldn't do to simply take you at your word. Kill him. Surely you can do that much. He must be guilty of something or other, or he wouldn't have attempted to flee the Empire.
I have a family. Kami, forgive me. Kami, forgive me.
Oh, very, very good. I've always had a soft spot for men like you. Next, I want you to shoot those two over there. Too old to work, you understand. A burden on the Empire. We can't have that.
But they're my parents. You can't expect me to...
He's right. They would simply take the villagers hostage. We must consider the wider picture. If we act recklessly, we risk alerting the Garleans to our presence here, making it that much harder for us to work with the local rebels, to say nothing of the reprisals ordinary civilians would be made to suffer.
Open your eyes, girl. They are already suffering. Let me go. I am putting an end to this madness. I will approach the village alone and identify myself. As a former leader of the rebellion and a known fugitive, they will wish to detain me until they are certain they have learned all I know. Use this time to make your plans.
You saw what those monsters did to the villagers. Who knows what they'll do to you, assuming they don't kill you where you stand?
We live and die at the pleasure of the Kami. My fate is in their hands and no others. If it be of any comfort, I am no stranger to chains.
You can't expect us to stand idly by as a comrade goes marching off to his death. And this is nothing like Kugani.
Nor is it like the Reach, Lys, or the Wall. Let him go. Hold out for as long as you can, but remember, noble sacrifices are to remain an absolute last resort. I wish I could say it won't come to that, but only the gods know how we're going to get you and the others out in one piece. A miracle, perchance.
A great tower stands to the north and east. Look to its occupants for aid and succor. Together, you may yet find your miracle. Now, leave this place. I must go.
Oh. Another idiot like all the rest. I'm beginning to think it may be something fundamental, something intrinsic, something quintessentially Doman to ignore the simple truth. You can't do a damn thing if you're dead.
Enough, Yotsuyu!
Well now, this is a surprise.
Hear me, Yotsuyu! Cease this farce, here and now, and I shall surrender myself to you. Refuse, and all shall answer to my blade.
Bring him to the tavern.
Ah! Oh!
I tire of this filthy tavern, and its still filthier clientele.
'Tis scant reward for your treachery, aye. A painted woman of your rich experience deserves a better class of customer.
Oh, name-calling. Is that what we've been reduced to?
Orphan of the Nayuri. Widow of Sashihai. What joy it must have brought you to be revenged upon us all.
Not enough. Not nearly enough. My appetite for your agony is as an abyss. Bottomless. Insatiable. Before you die, you will cry and beg and prostrate yourself upon the earth. You will crawl on your belly through the muck and the piss and debase yourself for my amusement. All of you. But you think you are made of sterner stuff? Rather than have him beat you, mayhap I should have my oaf go and fetch your master's head. Oh, poor, poor Lord Cayenne. Kami rest his soul. Noble leader of a fallen nation. A fine puppet he made for the Viceroy. For a time. 25 years he was content to serve his masters as a dog. And then everyone had to rise up and get themselves killed. Tell me, how did it feel to fail him that day? To live with the disgrace of his death? Not that you were a stranger to living with disgrace, of course. In the what was it? 25 years since you were humiliated and tossed into an imperial jail? You had plenty of time to get used to it. Oh yes, I heard the stories. About the samurai who would do anything to return to his master's side, even if it meant pledging his blade to his sworn enemy. They say he walked with death, that he slew 1,000 men in the Empire's name. Truly a tale for the poets.
I do not deny my sins, but I will not be reproached by the likes of you.
Oh, I mean not to reproach you, but to praise you. You're a survivor, samurai. Just like me. So, let us not dwell on the past, you and I, and instead give thought to the future. To wit, I would ask you again to help me resolve this vexing matter of Doma's missing heir. Living or dead, it makes no difference, really. But the Garleans are most insistent that we put this problem behind us. And I know you helped him flee. So tell me, what became of Lord Hien?
To my dismay, the details escape me at present. Mayhap your dog could jog my memory.
Get on with it, and mark me, brute, there is no limit to how far you can fall.
Of all the bloody stupid...
Oh! When I get back to Eorzea, I'm gonna find that little shite, and I'm gonna make him pay. Yeah.